What is good, people? It's Danny Styla. Subscribe to the channel and hit notification bells. So we've set up the stream. We said that we're going to be streaming away. I am still, unfortunately, full of the flu. I'm saying it's the flu, but I haven't got a certification. But how long it's been and the symptoms all point to that. And I don't do the getting told I've got coronavirus and that. No, I don't really. I'm not looking to go out and get a tester. No, man. I've never had. I better be careful what I say about it. Thinking about that topic. So I've never actually had. I've never had corona. I've never in my life had. We'll just call it corona because of the word in it, because it's a dodgy word, corona. The virus. So yeah, I've never ever tested positive like when I've done them. Once we was with my friend called Andy, and he actually had it, and he had testers with him, and he tested himself. He was showing us that, look, I've got it, because our other friend Billy was telling him, "You're full of shit. You've not got it." And so we went and got testers and come back. But then I was thinking, we're around him. This guy's got the corona, and we're sat around him. Like, what are we doing? And because Billy at first was playing it down, saying, "Yeah, man, it's nothing. You've got nothing to worry about. It'll be now." So when he come back, he tested himself. He come up the two blue lines. Is it? He come up the two blue lines, and he done another one to show it again. And I done mine. Mine come back one line. So I was like, I ain't got it. And then we spent all night. We spent all night because we were on a night out. Check Andy coming out on a night out while he's got corona. So yeah, he comes out with us with corona. And by the end of the night, because we're drunk and that, all handshakes are going on, hugging and all that type of business, Come here, Danny, I've known you for years, that type of shit. And Andy's about 6'5", so he's a lot bigger. He's big built as well. So he is one of them that comes up to you and puts his arm over you, like fucking trying to manhandle you and that. But yeah, so get the fuck off me. Now he's cool, Andy. Shout out to him. He knows how to do this YouTube as well, so that's funny enough. So yeah, I said to him, "Let me have a test, man." I said, "Because I've been round you all night, so let me go. Let me see whether I've ended up catching it, because you get me. I've been round you all night." And I swear to God, the next day, I was like, "Yo, I'm gonna test this, and I'm probably gonna have it, because at least I would pure times." Andy was proper fucking around me fully. I'm sure, like passing me cigarettes even. You get me? Like you would think that something that's so contagious, or apparently so contagious, you would think that I would have caught that straight away, and I didn't catch it. And I said to Eyes the other day, right? And I swear to God, yeah, I'm not speaking now into existence ever again, right? Apart from goodness, because let me tell you something. I could get either of a call right now, or phone him, and he'd phone his ass up and say, "Yo, did I say this to you the other day?" And then the day after, this is what happened. And it's about a week ago, man, now, because I put up with him being here, with my head stressed out while I was ill. So I've said to Isley, "Bro, I don't even know what a cold is. I don't even know what a flu is, man." I said, "I used to only get out when I was a kid. My mum used to look after me, stroke my hair and that, fucking give me chicken soup and that. Yeah, right. So that's what I remember. So I was being cocky, saying that I never catch it, and then I point out that I'd never had a jab. I had the baby one when you're a baby. I had that because when I was doing my I'll go on to the next thing in a minute. So I was saying I've had the jab and that, but I've never had I said that's what I think makes it stronger. Where I don't catch nothing. I would see people with colds. Even Isley always gets a cold as well. He caught it off me being here, but he'll go home. Because I don't get them, it's hit me like a tornado. I'm being dead serious, man. I've actually quarantined myself off from everybody until I go away. Yeah, so that's crazy work. So I wake up, right? I said to Isley, I said, yo, I feel this is after I'd said to him that I don't know what a cold is. Big up Andrew Williams, big up, brother. Hope you well, man. I'm just explaining me cold, whatever it is that I've got. So I say to Eyes, yeah, I don't catch the cold, man. I don't get flus and all that lot. So the next day, I wake up and I'm feeling achy, and my head's like zooming, like probably migraines is the right word for it. Do you get me? It's probably migraines, not headaches. Because with a real flu, you would get migraines, I believe. Because the flu is supposed to be heavy, isn't it? And what I've had's been heavy. You know, like I've been up since 4 o'clock this morning because I'm coughing violently, and I can't sleep. So when whilst I'm sleeping, I'm coughing my head off. Then I'm looking out to see whether it's light, and then I looked at my phone and seen it. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I seen that a neighbour had text saying that another neighbour had asked me to turn my fucking telly down. Yeah, the same neighbour that asked me to turn my TV down on New Year, saying at 7:30, saying, "Excuse me, can you turn your telly down? It's too loud." The woman downstairs, and she's not cut the grass in over a year, and she's got the audacity to give out orders and knock on everyone's doors. And not only that, she knocks on the neighbour's door to pass a message on to me, I'm not going through enough shit. I'm trying to get out. I know it sounds mad because I moved into this house and I had to get a property, but now that I'm in the property, I've been here for the amount of time that you're able to swap, and I haven't done any damage on the property. The only thing I've done is painted it magnolia, but it's not hard to go around and stick it all back to white again and put in for a house move. I'm just going to say that the house is absolutely causing me mayhem because I'm so far away from everybody that I know, and it's costing me money because I'm constantly going and staying away from the house. Do you know what I mean? I'm always going to Manchester. I'm always in like the other area what I go to as well. So I'm always there and I'm spending money while I'm there. And really, I could do with not doing that. I could do with spending it on the house, but I'm spending it on avoiding being in the house. You know? And it's a shame because it's all because I live so far away from everything that I know, you know. It's all right, you know, when people say you go away and have a peaceful life and that, but when it gets too peaceful, it can get really, it can get gritty and dark and not nice. Do you know what I'm saying? And then when I've got neighbours that are tweaking, bugging out. I've got fucking other issues. They're the usual ones, like every man or woman seems to have a problem in that way, you know. Yeah, like you're like when you know a female then they're a bit too close to you. One of those. You can't avoid each other. Puts you in a predicament, doesn't it? So yeah, that's another thing on my health as well here. That's driving me nuts. So yeah, I mean, I would be prepared, even though this place. Now, someone might say, Danny, why is someone going to want to move to a place where they're out of town, where they're away from everything? Some people want to do what I planned, get away from being what they were. I am not what I were. I am not what I was anymore. I'm already back to normal. If I was living in Manchester, I'd be living a normal life like I am here, walking my dog and shit. You know what I mean? Doing normal things. And I'd also be doing more YouTubing because I'd be back in the city. So, yeah, I mean, being here puts me in a grey area. And these factors, neighbours that are absolutely winding me up. I've got messages and that saying about turning your TV down. Man, like, and I'm not a person who takes grief either, you get me? I have to sit there and bite my tongue so bad because it's like, you're fucking pushing me, man. You get me? Because really, I'm trying to live a quiet life, you know, not argue with fucking neighbours about TVs being loud. This person who's been banging all morning going, I've had to text over a neighbour and say, is that you banging that? Because this person's aware of this person moaning about my TV. Which is crazy work. Because I went to sleep last night at about 10 to 8. So my TV would have went off at around... Would have went off at around 12:01 on its own because it had not been touched. Nothing had moved. So it would have done that. And even at that anyway, I always hear it anyway. So what? Well, it's just that I don't complain. I've got better things to do in my life than knock heads with someone that I don't know. And fact is really, yeah. I've met a few people, but really I don't know anybody around here. Not know anybody. Someone that you've known for a year, but a year, that's not really, you know. You're just getting to know what people are about around a year. So yeah, my plan would be to get back to Manchester, man. But I'd have to find that person who would be willing to do an exchange. But then at the same time, can I put it in with my doctors and shit like that? Like, yo, this is stressing me out, man. Like, he's telling me to behave and that, because that's what I got told. As long as you behave, and then the property is yours, all that lot. But now it's like, well, listen, yeah, the people that you've put around me right here are making me fucking not nearly want to behave. Now, I don't mean that I'm going to do anything crazy. It just means that then, yeah, you're making me jump out my character, which means I'm now, because when I argue back, like, they're making me angry. Do you get me? So then you're angry and doing. I don't want to be sounding like Danny G in the street screaming at somebody who's shouting at me who I don't fucking know over TVs but really it's her problem. Do you know what I mean? I actually offered to help with the grass and that, man, but the bird, the Grinch, man, like, she's the one who stole Christmas, mate. She knocked on my door on New Year's Eve at 7:30 and said, can you turn the telly down, please? It's too loud. This was last year. It's a year later and she's doing the same thing. Make it make sense. Make it make sense that she's not made a complaint all year about the motherfucking TV, but last night she's knocking on other neighbours' doors asking them to tell me to turn the motherfucking TV down. Make that make sense. Tell me that yeah, Danny, you're making too much exaggeration out of the situation. The woman's all right. Like, Coco, do you want to get on there, mate? Yeah, go on. I'm constant on there. Okay. Bless her. Yeah, so how am I supposed to roll with that? Like, I can't work with it. I can't work with it. And then also there's another problem. Everywhere that I've lived in my life, mate, I've only ever lived in Manchester and where I lived last time, in Cheshire. So I know that some people say that Cheshire's in like Manchester, but it's actually not as well. And I lived in the parts of Cheshire that are not in Manchester. Down a lot, like a good 15 miles away from there. So yeah, it was definitely still out of town. I mean, the accent was different. Hey up, that's what they say. But I got along great around there. But my problem is like, if we had Isley on here now, like who we know on the channel, like he would say right now, like Danny always gets too, like he always ends up knowing too many people and it all messes up. Around here, I've done the opposite to this. I've done the opposite. I've done like, do you know what? I don't want to get to know anybody because I'll end up moving around with the wrong people, and literally like I've took that many risks and stuff over the years that now I really can't be affording to risk losing this property. Now we might say, Danny, you've just been saying you want to move out of the property. I'm saying, yeah, and I'm on about the actual having a property. This right about now, not even right about now, because it's the future itself. I cannot spend a whole rest of my life away from my whole family. And like, it's like, yeah, it's not, it's, I've gone away. I've grown up. I've done my thing now where I'm not redeemed because I need to redeem myself. It was for my own sake. I avoided a lot of trouble. And a lot of lads got sentenced to a lot of years, so I avoided a lot of trouble. So I at that point, yeah, was like, no matter what, I'm still going to do this shit because I mean, like everybody in Manchester, like the first thing someone's doing is ringing my phone, Danny, what are you doing? Should we do this? And when you're broke and shit like that, right? And you're feeling yourself, like you're feeling like you don't give a fuck. Like you're like, do you know what? Like, and I'm not really talking about now. It's more back then. Do you know what I mean? You was more likely to go and do things that you shouldn't and that you don't want, or that you don't really want to participate in. I don't at this age now anyway. But I can still see it where you're having a moody day or something and someone phones you and says, do you want to come and do this with me? And it's something that you shouldn't do. And because you're pissed off and you're hating, you just think, you know what, yeah, fuck it, I'll come. And you go end up doing something crazy or crashing out, innit? You know, that's the biggest thing today is like trying to avoid crashing out. That's the new way. It doesn't matter whether you're a millionaire now or whether you're at the bottom of the ladder. Crashing out is crashing out. Could show you 5 millionaire rappers right now who were absolutely famously rich, but are all like looking murder charges and spending the rest of their lives in jail or guilty of all the shit. They're just waiting to be sentenced and stuff. These guys would have been how rich, but just for crashing out, they fuck their lives up, and we can do that as individuals, as men. There's females as well. So, yes, big up Andrew. So yeah, crashing out is something that's easy done, man. Now, I've avoided that Because it was hard to get into this place, you know what I mean? I nearly fucking crashed out before I got into this gaffer, and I was like, I can't take this no more, man. They're lying to me, yo. They're not going to get me a place sorted, and bang, before I know it, you know, it did get done. But now it is just literally a sake of like, where the fuck am I? And also as well, constant for over a year. There's been fucking house fires, not in my house. There's been bleeding police banging doors down on 1, 2, 3 different doors, all on within 5 doors. Do you get me? People say I'm the mad one. Make it make sense. But people are convinced you it's you, and you're not the one with the feds, or them ever have even been at the door. You know, me and my mate Isley lived there. You would have thought that they would have thought that me and Isley would have got the police called on us then if that was the case. Because if these are getting, I don't know why all the neighbours are getting the doors chainsawed through by the police, you know, threatening to chainsaw the door through if you don't open the door. You look outside and there's 10 riot bands, and I'm asking myself, am I back in the ghetto? Am I back in the motherfucking ghetto? Do you know what I mean? But the difference is, though, it's a different type of ghetto. It's a ghetto with no soul. It's got no heart to the place. That's the boring part of it. You've got to travel to see something. Water, you better fucking like water. Like, you better like water. If you want to have something to do for the day, or just go and pass a bit of time, then really you're gonna walk down water where water is. I mean, it is nice, don't get me wrong, but for a future, forever, is that what I want? To we've gone up to 1,700 subscribers as well, not 16 where it says there. When I'm on 1,700, gang. Yeah, man. It's not going to let me update it, is it? Well, we've hit 1,700 anyway. So, yeah, this calming down shit is just not. It's not as straightforward, man. You have to go away and find yourself, and then when you find yourself, you lose yourself. And then when you lose yourself, you've got to fucking try and find the yourself again. And when you've dug a hole this deep where you're actually fully tenanted into a property, the only way of getting out of that is you can't just walk out, because now you're losing everything that you ever worked for. The only way of doing it is by someone wanting to live in a brand new build. That's my ace card, is just the fact that it's a new building. And also, there will be somebody that lives in the Manchester city centre region that's wanting to get out of Manchester because they're in a bit of trouble. Loads of little busters are in trouble up there that want to get out of Manchester because they want to hide and shit. And the next minute you see this gaff and think, well, I get that. And I'm looking at their gaff thinking, yeah, that's right in the hood where I want to be. I'll go there because I ain't got no issues. Yeah, so that's the plan. That is actually the plan. When you're on the streets, you can find yourself anywhere. Fear of becoming a couch potato. That's a good analysis, really, Andrew, because you do seem to find yourself, if you don't do like what I've been doing this morning, brainstorming and seeing what's realistic, and asking yourself, would you go into a private? And you're like, no, because that then puts the risk back over my head of a landlord selling the property. So really, I've got no choice as to stick with the programme, but the only way that I can do this is obviously to speak with my housing officer and get it stated. Go to the doctors and say this shit's sending me mad. I mean, I know, Andrew, you say I've got the wrapping, bro. To get the wrapping, you've got to have the get up. You've got to have the one to get up and go in you. Yeah, I mean, I suppose when I'm rapping and stuff like that, it's usually when I'm in a good place. I could probably make that make sense, do you know? Because when I'm rapping, I'm confident. When I'm writing my lyrics and stuff, I don't write it from a perspective of feeling half unsure of everything around me. So rapping's not something you've got when because I wouldn't sit there and write negative. I don't mind writing confidently negative, meaning like talking about things that may be negative in a confident way, but writing lyrics whilst you're feeling a certain way. Yeah, only sadness could come out of lyrics like that, and that's not the type of. I'm not an artist. I have been an artist, though, because I've done every single type of fucking genre of music what I was going, man. So I have been a music artist, but now I'm old, Joe. I'm now about really building this channel, and getting the channel built up. That's the aim at the moment, is to get the hours up, and also as well, I know I have to be a bit more consistent with it, but I suppose coming on here and explaining my shit really kind of like will put certain people in the know. That's like, wow, like, so that's what Danny's going around with at the moment. Like, that's what's cracking with him, because everyone's got something going on. You get me? So yeah, it's at the moment, man. Like I say, when you're unsure of shit around you, when you're unsure, you're like, you find yourself thinking, nah, man, something's not clicking. And at the moment, it's not gonna click either. I can do this house up, we can do it up and spend money on items, and I can do that, but I can spend more, I can give up Christmas this year, spend it here, and spend a good load of money on my living room to make it more. I've already done all the painting and the decorating, but there's certain things I would upgrade. But like I say, I'm very unsure now, because I'm asking myself, really, am I going to be fucking definitely staying here? And if there's a possibility that I can move, then I'll push it like a button. Yeah. And down of you. It's complicated, that one, mate. Complicated, bro. Yeah. That is definitely a little complicated one. So yeah, man. No comment. No comment, bro. That's why I say it's complicated there. And then you say that, and I say no comment. Because, like, yeah, not just females are trouble. Two people committing to each other is pretty much usually quite hard to find. You'll always have one that's more than the other. In other words, you'll have one that cares, you'll have one that only cares when it suits them. And that's when then you think, fuck that shit. So yeah. It depends, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Do you want to dance to another person's tune? If someone's convincing you that you're the one who's playing music, so then really they want you to sit down and listen to their music, does that mean you're dancing to their tune then? And I'm not talking about real music. You know? So that's where relationships are at. They're usually pretty sticky. Like I say, there's always one that wants to do, you know, and then there'll be one in the end, or for 3 weeks, we'll be like all in, you get me? And then suddenly, like, go all out, like, no, like, just be away, and like that type of shit's, like, that's head games. So people like that have got to be eradicated, turned into friends. So, and when I say friends, I mean hello. You know, when you see them, hello. Because you can never, if you know for a fact yourself you don't play games, you're not out in your relationship, like bullying it up, trying to control a narrative, things like that. If you know that you're not doing that, and then someone then puts that to you and says you're doing all that, you're controlling this narrative, and that's I'll just call it a bad trait. I'll let your mind know what that stands for, what type of person that is. And there's a lot of that as well. So any relationships, yeah, it's like meeting 10 birds, right? Right, man, I don't even know how many you're gonna get. I don't know how many you're gonna get along with. If you can't get along with one, no, but there's someone for everyone. But yeah, as I say, I thought I'd found the one. I've been there before. I've been there before. But you've got to learn, haven't you, then, Andrew, not to put yourself in again, because obviously I take it you got hurt that time, and then now it makes you dubious of putting your feelings back out there to have them hurt again, and especially if the woman looks innocent and looks like butter won't melt in her mouth and all that type of shit, and the next minute it's she'd be cheating on you and all that, and you're like, wow, I thought you were my princess. Now she's someone else's princess. If that's what happened, Andrew, I'm sorry to make it sound like a joke, but that's what type of guy I am, bro. I make jokes out of my shit. If my mate tells me, yeah, listen, my missus has been cheating, I'd have said, you should know that. What are you on about? If your bird's out on the weekend and she's getting razzled and all that and doing whatever she wants and telling you that she's not interested in going anywhere with you, then she's more than likely swiveling with somebody else. So, yeah, man. What, after she cheated? I would never forgive a female that cheated. That's one thing, mate. If a fucking woman... I had one bird who done that. Mate. Yeah, I had one bird who cheated. And literally, I walked straight out of the gaff. Straight out. And it's pretty ironic because I went to a best mate's house and stayed there. What, you grown up with her, Andrew? Is that what you're trying to say? I just know that love's bullshit. That's what I know. Fuck love. Get me my gaff in Manchester so I can go back around my people and have normal conversations with people that I know. That is what I need. So that'll do me. Looking for love's like looking for when you say she was smoking, do you mean smoking badness? Yeah, man. Oh, she was smoking. Right. Yeah, mate. I've looked good, but it all depends on what's in the heart, bro. Usually, like I said, you'll usually find out within a year. Usually find out within a year. That's why people say all that, I love you too much and shit. You come out with stuff like that. 3 months into 2 months into meeting somebody, I love you. I'll never go anywhere without you. And 4 months later, 5 months later, you'll know. If it's the right person, that's what I mean, you'll know, because you'll be tight. If it's not, then, Andrew, we're not talking about your ex-girlfriend here, bro. So yeah, you'll know after about a year, man. After the year, you will have got to know each other a little bit more. People jump straight into relationships, and that's the worst thing that you can do. Is definitely jump straight in. Fuck that. That has been my mistake for 4 times with 4 different females, adding up to 20 years. So it's 5 years of each female, roughly there and thereabouts, except I was with one for 8 and one for 3.5. And it adds up to 20 years. And I wasted 20 years of my life fucking really for nothing. Might have been like a dad on everything, that's what's funny as fuck. It's like, wow. I've brought up families and that, yeah, but got no kids out here. Fuck me. What a dickhead I was. Nah, it's part of life though, yo. As I say, just don't, as Andrew's saying it, you thought he'd found the one. Always give yourself time, mate. Do not like jump straight in to a relationship. Always give yourself, what's it called, time. Courting time, dating time. Then after that, then you'll fucking find out what, like, what they like to do, going out with their friends. If it's all good by that point, I mean, if at that point then this person's sniffing and all that shit and going out and doing random madness and doing all, then that's not the person for you, because that's the person that'll more than likely break your fucking heart again. If you're our age now, you'll be meeting someone that wants to that wants to settle down, like, but then also wants to be a team partner as well with you, so you can create something together. That's the ideology that I'm coming with. So it's a pretty mad one. And we're on 1,600 subs. No, 1,600, 1,700 now. Yeah, well, if your girlfriend was a flirt, Andrew, then she might have been cheating on you, bro. It's like that. Don't worry. It happens to a lot of men. A lot of men just don't admit it, that it's happened to them, and they were heartbroken. Yeah, man. I've been fed my medicine cold. I got that. But yeah, man, anyway, we've been on for 43 minutes, so it's a little stream. So I'm going to roll out. It's Danny Styla. Peace out, gang. And I hope I fucking get better soon. Shit.